Darby, Sultai, ramp. Alright. You know what my favorite number is? 4. We're going to put in 4 growth spirals. Uro, 4 of them. What else are we going to do? Nissa, we're going to put in 4 of them. Right, that seems pretty good. You know what is a really good new Planeswalker? Ugin. Let's put in 4 of them. Now, we want to make sure that we can continue to ramp towards these. So we have a Cultivate, and we're going to put in 4 of them. How many lands do we have right now? It says 24. 1, 2, 3, 4 more of them. That's good. And we'll want some removals. Let's put in Casualties of War. 4 of them. Some way to sweep the board would be useful, so let's do Extinction Event. In black. 4 of them. Seems good. What are we forgetting? Yeah, Hydroid Krasis. With all that mana, we want to be able to redraw, so let's put in 4 of them. I'm not going to do the land right now. And in the sideboard, there's not a lot of 4-ofs. But we can go huge. We can put in like 3 Thought Distortions, which is good. I believe that this list runs 3 Cries. Cry of the Carnarium runs 3 of these puppies. It also runs Enter the God Eternals. We have a lot of ramp focus, so we can do very pricey solutions to things. Pair of Wilts. Pair of Wilts. Pair of Eliminates. Pair of Negates. And I think there's maybe one more. Yes. A single Ritual of Soot. Do you like? Do you like? Feels good, huh? Feels good. Alright, now the deck also has very simple land. So, I think it runs 4-2-2. 4-2-2 sounds really super duper correct. Swamp. What's a good looking swamp? Oh yeah. Let's get in a pair of these. Alright, so we're gonna hit 2. And we're going to put in Overgrown Tombs. We're going to put in Watery Graves. We're going to put in Breeding Pools. We're going to put in Zagoth Triomes. We're going to put in Fabled Passages. That's it, right? I love it. It's 4 of everything. Now, why is the deck? Okay, why is the deck? Why even is this thing? Yeah, I believe this deck runs not a single scry. A single scry in the world. I don't know if it would be made stronger or weaker by this, but this is the list. So the idea is that we actually get so much consistent ramp out of Growth Spiral, Cultivate, and Uro, and we get a hard removal answer with Extinction Event, which, if we whiff out on that, then eventually we can get to the Ugin and Casualties to like really murder stuff. I watched Wyatt Darby play this last night, and it looked absolutely gaseous. It was complete plasma, man. Porius says maybe 2 Shark Typhoon would be good here. You know, Porius, I think that there's a lot of room in both Simic, Bant, and Sultai ramp decks. Anything that has 4 Growth Spirals and 3 Arrows, I think has a pretty wide amount of possibility. Sad Tony, I think you're hitting the nail on the head. Why no scry lands? We need to make sure that we have sufficiently many basic lands because we run 4 Cultivates and 4 Fabled Passages. We want the Fabled Passages because they put a land into the graveyard. You sacrifice the Fabled Passage, it goes to the graveyard, which increases the probability of being able to cast Uro. So we know we want to run 4 of those. We want to run 4 Cultivates because it's one of the new ultra-reliable ramp cards. And that needs basics, so we know we're going to run 4 of those. So since we're going to have to be running a crap load of basics, where do you cut from? Where do you cut from? And the answer is you cut from the scry lands. So that, I suppose, is the built-in logic. But yeah, with so much Rampus Vampus action going on. I think it's no surprise to see a ton of expensive cards. Because we don't really want to change our low mana plays. We want to be getting huge. Cryptic Tugboat gifting 20 subs to this wonderful community. 20 subaronis in the pepperoni. Thank you, Cryptic Tugboat. Long time sub here, tugging this community along. Thank you kindly, Mr. Boat. I shouldn't be so presumptuous. Mr. or Mrs. or MX's Boat.
We will not fail.
So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to untap this Island Swamp and swing with it. Because I can deal the damage, and I don't really feel like there's that many risks coming up. So I think I'd rather do this. Cyrix DC says, are there any streams, YouTube videos of you where I can learn to better draft? I saw I choreographed stuff on YouTube recently, but it's only 3. Yeah, I would overwhelmingly encourage you to look up. Yeah, I think this is better than Casualty. No, maybe this is actually what we need to do. Destroy an enchantment and a land. I should actually be willingly liberal with this. I think I want to get the blue-greens. Oh, I thought I had enough. Oops, I missed about 3 damage. I would recommend, first of all, Ben Stark has a bunch of videos up on Channel Fireball that is... I mean, Ben Stark is considered one of the best drafters in history, so always good to recommend Ben Stark. Deathsea streams almost exclusively drafts and talks through his thought process. That's Deathsie. I was watching Deathsea on my birthday, actually. And Deathsea's an incredibly kind person, too. I remember I was, for the World Championship, where I was one of the talent. I mean, I just don't play that much limited or drafting, and I asked him if he could give me any, like, just general opinions on the format, and he actually gave me a large write-up about how to think about drafts, and what's strong, what's weak, and all that good stuff. Voxy, I understand, does a lot of drafting. I have not watched a lot of Voxy. Every time I've watched Voxy, she is drafting, but someone would probably know better than I do.
I've got it.
Olympian05 says, long-time viewer, just never really got to catch your stream, but now I can! So I'll be here for a long while. How's it going, Day9? It's going good. This is the best I have felt in so long. Oh, I feel so good. Oh, of course, the Limited Resources podcast with Marshall Sutcliffe, who loves watches. I'd actually say probably of most of the streamy people you watch, I'm one of the worst actually at drafting. I mean, I like to think I'm still pretty good, but alright, our opponent disconnected, and we have no shame in absolutely obliterating the ground that Matt and D walks on.
That didn't go according to plan.
Bing bong. Bang, pow, boom. Is Riot from Deathsea available somewhere? This is a long time ago, different format. And I don't know, I don't think so. I mean, just go to Deathsea's channel and Deathsea will very likely be able to talk more to it. Draco, Metatimus says, hey Sean, over edits your CNC highlights needs a pay raise. I don't think I've ever laughed as hard as I did watching the Red Alert highlights, and I watched the whole thing live as well. Dude, Ed the editor. Ed the editor is unfucking believable. Oh my god, Ed is the absolute sickest. Like, I almost want to just change my content to just be all videos edited by Ed. He's just so good. Alright, how do I sideboard this? I don't think we're going to need an Extinction Event, ever. We have Ugin that does the Exile effect, same as Extinction Event, and we would generally want Extinction Event as a more reliable sweeper early on due to threats, so we just don't worry about that. The only ones that seem good here are the Thought Distortions and the Negates. So I think I'm going to cut one Casualties of War and just run this. Hey, what up, Maldarian? Maldarian. Hello, Maldarian. Alright, now we get to see how incredible Cultivate is. By the way, 3 mana Cultivate leads to turn 4 Nissa. I mean, there's just a lot of reasons to love these cards. So here, I'm going to do this, because this can actually mess with my opponent a little bit. I don't care too much about my health, but I want Matan96 to be aware that I could Growth Spiral, and this is an opportunity for Matan D to maybe leave mana up for a Mystic Dispute, which we notably don't run. Oh my god, our opponent is so screwed. This is probably going to be countered. Do we need this? What am I drinking? This is one of those caffeine water things. I think we want a green and a blue, huh? Let's do a green and a blue, and let's put the green one down. And let's put the blue one down. So now we have less information about what's in our hand. If I played one of the shock lands, my opponent would still see that there's an island in my hand, and I would have failed at concealing information as well. Alright. Matt and Dean just instantly loses.
Mysteries to uncover.
And nothing. Okay. Okay, that's actually kind of a cute play. Okay, so I shot that in, and then I take one of my lower value lands, send it in, wait until my opponent's turn to do this kind of stuff. My opponent didn't minus with Narset to guarantee that it would live, but I think Matt and D just drew poorly. Caffeine water thing, coffee? No, it's literally they take water and they just put the caffeine in it. I assume. It's highball energy. Sad Tommy says, yes, I do enjoy caffeine water with my morning soylent and plain crackers. Yeah, I just wish I had a little bit more time to be set up. Because I like being on a routine with food. I really like being on a routine. Same breakfast, same lunch, same dinner during the week. All the same. All the same. Just going through. Coffee, or eggs, toast, coffee. It's perfect. It's perfect breakfast for me. I'm never unhappy to eat that. I love it. I adore it. Just some black beans and chicken, things like that. Love it. Adore it. And then I want like a recreational meal once a week. During the weekdays, and maybe 2. How do you take your eggs? Over easy, Cragheart. Over easy. Maybe over medium. Over medium's a little bit better. Over medium's probably the best, because I don't like the runniest. Please though. Okay. I mean, if we can ramp up the Casualties of War, that is good. Love to see it. Rats. What does over easy mean? Over easy means you just crack the egg, you put it on the pan, and then you let it cook for a little bit, and then you flip it over. And over easy, over medium, over hard is the same idea of flipping it over. And the easy, medium, hard is how long you cook it on the other side. What is going on here? Someone better not throw a cat. Yeesh. Kitten says ketchup or hot sauce on your eggs. Absolutely hot sauce. I don't like ketchup very much. Home fries or hash browns? I like neither. Bing bong. Alright, so we play the Nissa. Maybe... yeah. Maybe some shit like this.
Power surges through these lands.
The Zagoth Triome, so I have the opportunity to
Nature's true power.
do a little pain. So this is a Jund Sacrifice deck. What's the next What the Deck theme? It's Goblins versus Elves, Sam. So it's going to be on the 27th of July. Out with the old and in with the new. Pancakes or waffles? Waffles. 100%. Love these questions. I'm so good at them. I don't even know if this is right. Seven, 1, 2.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
9, 1, 2 is X equals 10. Yeah, it's been a good 10 years. Or been a good 5 years, but I gotta unsubscribe Team Pancake. Listen, I like pancakes, but waffles. Waffles? With goat cheese and syrup. Fuck. That is good stuff. Jam or jelly? I'll be honest, the 10 who are taken. I don't really know the difference, but I'd probably say jam. Because my understanding of jam is that jam has a little bit more of the fruit chunks in it.
I must go. Alright, let's do it like this. And then we tap this one, and we tap this one, and then we do a green one and a green one. And let's do one black, so we can do this. I will aid you.
I think the best thing to do here is actually to just beat ass with Nissa. I think so.
The land shall conquer you.
And then I'm actually going to Casualties. Destroy a land, a creature, and an artifact. To destroy an artifact, creature. And let's get rid of this red one. Red is the one that scares me a little bit more. you got, friend? Taking it all down. Any other either-ors you want to know? So intrigued by your love of cheese on waffles. Yeah, dude, goat cheese on a waffle is so fucking good. Oh my god, it's so fucking good. Alright, how do we sideboard this? I feel like cries, soots, and eliminates are good. Let me do the sideboarding first. Well, crap. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. Hold off on thy either-or questions. I think I want all the sweepers, I think. Casualties seems like probably the one I want to ditch. Ooh, Cheesy Bagel 51 says sausage or bacon? Bacon, 100%. I think I don't want as many of these. This feels kind of right. I don't need to quite ramp as much if I'm cutting some of the high end. How crispy on the bacon? Somewhat. I don't like my bacon to look like Chernobyl. I really just kind of want it to be some bacon, you know. Gonna bring it back. Cake or pie? I'm going to say cupcakes. Cupcakes. I like cupcakes. Maybe it's a cop-out. Maybe it's honesty. Maybe it's something that you wish you had inside of you. But you know, if you were actually trying to, you know, trying to get some ransom money out of me and really needed to know the answer to that specific particular question, I guess it would be. I guess it would be pie. I think it would be pie. All the girlies say it's pretty fly to go eat pie. I want to see what the future holds. Isn't cupcakes just a small cake? Yeah. Soju or sake? Asks Craghart. Soju, 100%. Phobia says SC Marines or 40k Space Marines? 40k Space Marines, 100%. 100%. And Astartes is the reason for that. Astartes. Straight up, man. It's so tight. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. The Marines, the Marines in StarCraft are irrelevant. StarCraft is the story of the Zerg, the Protoss, and the Xel'Naga, while Jimmy Raynor quips. That's the StarCraft storyline, as I understand it. Brood War was pretty tight. Brood War was pretty tight, right? You had Arcturus Mengst sacrificing humanity with the Psi emitter. That was awesome. Fantasy or sci-fi? Sci-fi Renegade cosplay. Although, I have quite a lot of issues with the tropes of both of them. Okay, here's what I don't like about fantasy. Fantasy takes too damn long for anything to happen ever.
don't even know what this dude got rid of. Casualties? It's all you. Like, fantasy's just so slow and so plodding. Oh my god. Oh, it just takes millennia to get kicked up. This is kind of why I gravitate a little bit more towards urban fantasy and thrillers. Or short fiction and fantasy, because stuff happens. Stuff happens. But also, too, with science fiction, I find that it's cerebral to the point of I feel like I'm just watching someone write about philosophy instead of telling a story in an interesting and compelling world. And I know there's a lot of interesting philosophical ideas in sci-fi, but, like, like, I also kind of just like stories, man. I like my stories. Everything gets shocked. I think a good balance of sci-fi, cerebral, and storytelling is the 90s Ghost in the Shell movie. That is one of my favorite movies of all time. That is so good. So good. I believe it was a 95 movie. Okay, so I think that the move is going to be to just out-heal all. Let me see here. Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, 1995. Ghost in the Shell. I really, really love. Love that. Love. Oh, it's the best. Now, Ghost in the Shell, also, for any of you who are curious, Ghost in the Shell did have... Ghost in the Shell did have a... and like a new and improved fancy CG version remastered in the 2000s at some point. Don't watch that. Watch the original 1995 one. Yeah. I like the suggestion from Sir Bobbington. They need a do the cat thing button that just auto-sacrifices and taps the ovens and boops for damage. Yeah, you just... It's like... Attack, no attack, cat. And you just hit cat and it just... like goes through it. And there's pass, and then there's pass through cat boop. Well, alright. Let's go ahead and do the land creature artifact. Artifact creature. I'm gonna start a draw. You ever watched Altered Carbon? Oh, I was watching that Renegade cosplay. I kind of forgot. I kind of forgot about it. My bad. Might be. Sacrifices can come back again and pay for damage. Alright, our opponent did what I refer to as making a mistake. We will now summon the powerful Spirit Dragon. X equals 1. Ooh, actually, no. This is incorrect. What I should do is actually just hit it. Just shoot it for 3 and then bonk on it. We're winning! This game is awesome! Yeah. Altered Carbon. Altered Carbon, oh my god, let me tell you. That is a show that pantomimes being cerebral, but is actually pure pulp garbage. I love it. It's so good.
Leak Soup says, why is hitting the +3 the better play? Because the cat was unable to be sacrificed, so it would go to the graveyard, so there's no food for the cat to be able to come back, which is what I will call effectively exiled. And at that point, I am plussing the Ugin, which makes it 1 turn away from being able to get to 11, at which point it is a threat to -10. And that seemed to me to be far better than -1ing to ensure that a single cat could not ping-pong me to death. As you know, I care not for ping-pong. Altered Carbon is Space Dresden Files. Oh, hell yeah, that's the way to describe it. We'll play the Watery Grave first in the off chance that I draw a Growth Spiral. I love pulpy trash, it's so good. Altered Carbon is like sci-fi Game of Thrones? No, it's just science fiction pulp. It is very pulpy. So this is marginally risky to try to choose to play out an Uro, because this does mean that we can whiff a Nissa, but, you know, Cultivate Growth Spiral is also a very gaseous play. I think I'm actually going to get another green here. We have the double black that we would need from a Casualties. I don't think we need too many swampy guys right now, because we only have 1 in the bin. So we're not going to be getting to Uro soon. Rats. Rats and balls. Well, let's go ahead and get double swamp right now. So 1 swamp comes out. Looks like Pim is doing something very similar to what we want. Oh. Did I say let's get 2 swamps? I meant to say let's get 2 islands. Let's get 2 swamps. Just like click 2 islands. Let's pull 1 swamp out. Now that we have a swamp, let's use Growth Spiral. Chained misspeaking. I'll bonk with the island here. This island that generates black mana. This island right here. I'm gonna go ahead and just play Uro. Alright, we're gonna play the swamp here. Ooh, Day 9 is so deliciously funny. Bing bong, bang boom. Casualties make me go boo-hoo. So it looks like Prim is doing kind of the same thing, but I think that the parity is in our favor here, because I can... Let's see here. So if I go like this, and this, and this, and then I cultivate first, I get to put out a this, and then I can play this. Bing, bong, bang, bong, boom. Da 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 da. Yeah, let's just keep getting these out. And then we have a Ugin, which is pretty swifty. By the way, for some of you that are just having fun typing some emotes, sometimes our bot gets a little aggressive and bans people. I shouldn't say bans, times them out for 5 seconds. You're spamming! Stop it!
It's fragile.
-3. Alright. This game is about to get real stupid. We're just gonna be shooting each other for 3.
My greatest creation.
This mirror is downright dumb. Okay. Well, guess what? I got Ugins for days. This is useless.
I have greater matters to attend to.
Oh, please play this Uro. Please, I insist. Let's get the going, man. That's how we're gonna do it. Alright, so now this is... We could still lose, but this does not bode well for villain, if this is what's happening. Alright, first things first, shoot her. Second things second, we're going to play in such a way as to...
My greatest creation.
Odd. Bing bong, bang bong, boom. Bing bong. Some of my most spoken words. Bing bong. Odd. Ghost fire, my greatest creation. So now Pwim's in a position where Pwim kind of desperately needs to do a Casualties of War. Which I think is actually what's happening, because I'm seeing some hovering occurring. Aha! Nice.
I have greater matters.
It doesn't matter. I don't even care. Not even a little bit.
Bam! You know, I'm just going to play these because I don't care to bluff. I don't care. I want you to see what you're up against, Pwim. Yes, it is my third again. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going to shoot me for 3, but then I'm going to draw Casualties of War off the top. Don't think I know how my deck works. Alright. I'm doing this in the incorrect order, but do I care? No, not at all. How many casualties are in here? We got a pair and then a third in here. Nice. My chair has gotten real squeaky. I hope the squeaking is not too loud. Oh, Jesus. Fucking,
My greatest creation.
Okay. So,
Is unwritten.
So if I go QQ, Z. I just don't trust. That's 11 from heaven. Right? Four, 1 and 1, so we could crack for a blue. I'm gonna do like this, and I'm gonna do one of these like that, and I'm gonna go attack like this, and then say okay. Bam! Alright. Somebody is running low on Casualties of Wars. It's a real jerk move. I just want to be clear about that. There's my war. I wish to find a swamp. There's the swamp. Even. 0 is odd, right? What about her?
Behold, nature's true power.
Don't do this, man.
I no longer wish to stay.
This is actually so funny. So first things first, we casualties to get a land, Planeswalker, and a creature. Target a land. How about this one? Target a Planeswalker. This one. Doesn't really matter because we're doing a virtually identical play in both cases. Yeah, listen, this guy draws a bunch of Casualties of War. I draw a bunch of Ugins, you know, to each their own. I guess that's the best I can hope for, huh? Okay. Playing Ugin. Shoot this Ugin. Put this guy up here. There's probably a way to be able to cast this, I'd surmise. Oh, yeah. There's probably a way to be able to do it, but I don't really care. It just doesn't really bother me. Doesn't really bother me. Okay. Okay, Quinn. Some people.
Harness the elements.
Holding back on the Casualties of War because I want to wait a wee bit.
Cease this aggression.
Cease this aggression. Phenomena. Cease this aggression. X equals 5, baby. Oh, look at you being so ambitious with your bops. Okay, so we must do this in the following order. First things first, we nuke land, creature, planeswalker. Let's go ahead and get this one untapped land. Let's go ahead and get the one that we won't be able to kill this turn. Bang. Alright, let's go to 11. I'm going to play this first so I don't ever have to think about my mana ever again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bam, 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 bam. Whoosh, whoosh. Yeah, let's play it. You know, it's plausibly better to not play it and just, like, try to be in a cycling zone. Oh, my cat is meowing. Are you meowing at the shut door? Oh! Oh, my cat wants to come in. I thought I was being polite and shutting my door to not disturb so many people. But guess what? Guess what? Sheriff needs to come in and see Dad. It's time to see Dad. Hello. Yeah. Ah, it's Dad. What up? Hi. So, there's some stretches. Ah, it's so cool to have you back here, Sheriff Bear. Alright. Something clearly happened. Clearly. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. First. Well, definitely Nissa and the Uro. This one and this one. Why not? Let's just put the Fabled Passages down. Pay the life. Pay the life. Meow meow.
Strange and magnificent world.
Pay the life. I think I really don't want to play this Hydroid Krasis because it's just too big. I mean, I in a moment, I'm going to need to just count Planeswalkers here. Because in the bin, we see an Ugin, a Nissa, 2 Nissa, 2 Ugin, 3 Ugin. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been getting the better end of a lot of Planeswalkerage.
Endings are inevitable.
These Extinction Events suck. I'm not going to play Growth Spiral or Hydroid Krasis. We'll just lose. Yeah, I think like there is a substantial risk of self-decory. So my opponent's played. There's 3 Ugins and a 4th Ugin, so we don't have to worry about Ugins anymore. So our Nissa is more or less saved. And if there is a Hydroid Krasis that gets played, we can always Extinction Event for even. Can't wait to put in 4 Thought Distortions. Can you? It's okay. It's totally okay. It's the last Casualties of War. PWM is running, I think, our exact list. We have 10 cards. Our opponent has 26. Fuck.
Rise, my elemental friend.
lot of stuff getting exiled. God, Sultai ramp with Oko in it would have been a worse. Oh, yeah, that would have been dumb. D-U-M-M dumb. Why not? Fade life. Down to 48. What you doing, Pwim? We won. Ready for game 2. Land. Creature. 3, 6, 12, and 15. Send in the Fabled Passage. Yeah. Navigated the deck by drawing the better cards first. Okay. Extinction Event is not a card that we want. Thought Distortion is a card that we want. If I put in the third Thought Distortion, what would we cut? One Cultivate? Yeah, maybe that's the one. Milling is not really a worry. You know, I actually think it's this. I think that's right. I'm so leery of cutting the Cultivate when I have 7 6-cost cards and 4 8-cost cards, you know? This is a really good hand. So first, second, third. Go to 61. might have been the right play. Oh yeah. Oh yes, please. Please, I insist. That has the potential to, like, completely ruin the ramp. Well, rats. Rat butts. That is okay. Green, green, green. Know what I mean? Jelly bean. That is okay. So there is some real pain that can happen right here. Okay, I think I do need to do this. And one of two things will happen. My opponent will either take the damage and then try to Casualties of War next turn, in which case we're completely boned in that game. There's also... Okay. Alright, that is death. I think maybe I needed to save the negate. Yeah, no, actually, I think there's just too much ramp in these decks. Yeah, I think I think the mistake was negating the growth spiral, because I think that the thought process that I was using was a bit outdated. I think it was a bit outdated. In metas past, preventing some ramp was real effective. But I'm realizing, if I'm doing this on turn 2, then you know what? Turn 3, Oh, that's almost a very good hand. We could chuck it. Okay. Yeah, I think what I should say is... No. If I counter the Growth Spiral, they'll have 4 Cultivates, 4 Uros. So there's already an extremely high probability that our opponent is going to be able to get there anyways. So I think that I needed to keep up the negates. I think this is better. I think this is better to do. To guarantee the Nissa, and then similarly guarantee the Thought Erasure. Because this is black. So I have black, black. Good. So I'm just going to go forest. Forest. Now next turn, PWM cannot possibly play Nissa. So we're going to get the Nissa out first. So this immediately creates a substantial threat on villain that must be dealt with. Casualties of War could come out. That would suck. We have some backup. Holy shit. Let's distort some thoughts here. Oh, yeah. Got this swampy guy.
Rise, my elemental friend.
That was good. Omega Duress is right. I'm just going to let the damage in. I don't mind. I mean, I think that the number of threats here... And I mean, the thing about Thought Distortion is that it exiles them. So, I mean, there's not even Ugin for them. Oh, yes, I'm ready. No blocks. I'd really love a land off the top here.
Try my patience.
Okay. Sure. Let's go ahead and send the Thought Distortion to exile. Ah, that's dirty. Now, if I use this to go fetch a swamp, we can actually attack with everything. To battle. Alright, this is a pretty done deal. All I need to do is get this down, and then it's like over. Ugin Eternals doesn't seem like the best card here, but I sort of understand the sentiment behind running it. 1, 2, 3. Depending upon what we draw, we could have another blowout turn. Oh my god, that's like the best draw possible. Jeez. Jeez. Okay, this, and this, and this, and this. And this. I think drawing 4 cards here is good. And also not more than that. Do this card.
The land fights for us.
I think this is the play. I mean, we're going to lose a land, but that's like actually super duper okay. This is actually super okay. Good play, shocking this in. I mean, it's kind of an obvious play, but still is a good play. Pat myself for a little bit for that, you know? This is just insane that I got this, man. How many mirror matches has Dan and I gone against? One. Just a single one. I think. Just one. Yeah, that looks really good. Let's X equals 12 this here. Let's get this up for the negate mana. And let's only attack with the large ones. And oh, are we discarding a lot soon. Okay. Okay, so let's discard the growth spirals, No, let's discard the Overgrown Tombs. That seems good. Oh, I should have discarded the Watery Grave. I just didn't see it there. Because this game is designed for mobile. Here comes the Ugin. Can you believe I just have a Casualties of War here for this? And I know you probably can, but I can't. I find it truly unbelievable. Yep. Yep, we are just racking up win after win after win right now. This is good. This has been a winning day. V-Ball 6'8" says, I don't know why no Ugin was given so much starting loyalty at +2. It's like forcing it to be too powerful. It does cost 8, though, and it still needs 3 turns to pop off. What was the thing you have in your hand that you're fiddling with? It's a pen. It's just a black pen. Ugin doesn't seem... I think Ugin is a card that, when it was formerly in print and it existed and it lived, no, people were like, yeah, it's a good card, but it costs 8 and it didn't really matter. No one cared. No one gave a damn. However, that era didn't have Growth Spiral and Uro. Nah. Wait, how could you get it out on turn 2, Wildcard? How does that work? Go like turn 1, one of the Tron lands and a mana generator. Then turn 2, you go land. Oh yeah, that's right. Then that would be turn 2, Ugin. Ooh, we are winning this one. We are winning this game for sure. I would like to crack for green, please. Growth Spiral, Watery Grave, and then we Cultivate to be able to get the mana for Extinction Event, and then we can actually probably go Nissa Extinction Event as well. Damn, this is gross. When's Uro due to rotate? Uro is... What set is Ikoria from? It's like a 1.5 years, though.
I just kind of felt like doing it this turn. I don't know. Oh yeah, yeah. So there's these 3 lands that it's like Mishra's Workshop, Mishra's Library, and Mishra's Sewing Kit, some bullshit like that. There were 3 lands that they generated 1 colorless, but if you had the other 2 lands, then each of them would generate 2 colorless. I think I 100% just do this right now. I'm gonna do even. And tower generated 3. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Alright, we rule. We're the best. Cracking for green. Hey. Cracking for... Probably black, actually.
Together, we will
Lando.
harness the
No
elements.
attacks. Yeah, not Mishra, Urza. Yeah, same thing, same thing. Mishra and Urza. For any of you who don't know the Magic lore, Mishra and Urza are twins who are identical in every single way. So, it's totally fine to use them interchangeably at any point in time. Same with Snape and Dumbledore. Just however you want to use this. The same character, you know. Yeah. We admit to the pain. We don't want to take this pain because if for some reason Weckies can still kill Nissa, I want to be able to cast Casualties of War.
I cannot protect you anymore.
Land and creature. Bang! Boom! Oh! Alright, welcome back.
I will protect the virtue of this world. Be wary of the ground you walk on.
You know, I'm just not going to do anything, because next turn I'm going to be able to Ugin and just smash, face, stop by, face. 2, 4, 5, 6. Shit. Two, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bye, guys.
Behold, nature's true power.
Yeah, this card is awesome. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Man, this deck has got it all, baby. Well, I mean, that no doubt sucks, but I have hope for us. We actually might lose now. This is actually pretty impressive.
I lead you to your doom.
So we are going to want to get a forest and a forest, and we'll put out a forest, and then we'll play a forest. Because I think it's very important to be able to untap this
The land fights
and make
for
the
us.
army of the trees. One turn too soon.
Shelter in my stewardship. Rise, my elemental friend.
And this is where I just get bone crushed in the face, huh? Embercleave would kill us, except there's no double red. So, I don't know. Dude, Gruul. Gruul's a good list. Hi, Share Bear. Hey. And I gotta throw out all this garbage here. well, it's not good, what we're seeing. Not good at all. No shame in losing to Mountain Embercleave. Could be. Could be. Could be that Wekis is opening up the stream to see me die. I want to watch. I want to watch it happen. Nice. All right, we are in business. Bam. Okay. I'm gonna enter this tapped, and I'm gonna swing with it.
Be wary of the ground.
All right. This guy can't block. Oh. Okay. Making progress.
My element friend.
Yeah, no, I type. When I need to hit buttons, I hit those buttons. Let me tell you that much. I hit those buttons. Got him. Even though Nissa won for us, I think that these are the more mediocre cards here. I think that this is good. I think that these are good. Feels pretty correct. Feels pretty correct. This is a good Enter the God Eternals turn. What switch am I using? I'm using browns. I kind of want to go to reds. I kind of want to go to the Cherry MX Rouge. Yeah. Winning at 2 health. It's how I do it. How I do it. Oh, yes. Oh my god, Jeff Hoagland, what a treat to see you, man. What a treat. It's been a little bit. I didn't stream for a wee while because I was moving and working. But I'm back. Jeff, I'm back, and I have a deck that's dumb. D-U-M-M dumb. It's so dumb. It's so good. I saw it on Wyatt Darby's stream last night. And now I'm using it here before your very eyeballs. How you liking standard post M21 post ban, Jeff? And by the way, in case any of you ever had any doubt, I always draw the growth spiral. Always. Okay, collect some pelts. Now I have a Casualties of War. I don't have any ramping capabilities though, and I think that if I grow spiral here, I'm not going to get to Nissa any earlier. I actually feel compelled to eliminate this. There's not a lot of 3-mana things I'm worried about outside of Gruul Spellbreaker, which would have hexproof. And if I just kill it now, I eliminate any possibility of a thing coming out. Our Scavenging Ooze is going to own pieces of us. Parts of our body. You know what? god, maybe I should just look for... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I was like, God, I want to just chalk it right on in. He just played 0 matches of Standard with M21. Well, rats. Alright, I think I'll probably get the Forest, so I can do this. Woo. Thing that would be really tight to draw would be... we're pretty close to death, though, aren't we? I think that's the video game. All right, let me get out of here. Get out of here. I recognize that I'm dead. I recognize this, but it's okay because I think that I have all the tools that I will need to become the most powerful nerd. Yeah, everyone seems to love Historic like a whole lot. I know Ali Eldrazi's been playing a lot of Historic. Oh yeah, we won. There's a 0% chance we lose. And that's a promise. Historic is great now that Winota Overlord is gone. Yeah, Winota was one of those cards that... Oh, man. I'm going to kind of repeat myself from a few weeks ago. Do you guys remember GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64? How sweet that game was? How unrepentantly awesome that game was? It had so many things that was... unnecessary polish, like each enemy having 40 different death animations, some of which just involve them going like, you know. It was awesome, man. It was awesome. Well, oh, that is such good news for us. Oh my god, this news. Had like paintball mode, you can have like giant heads, it's great. So, there was an item called the Golden Gun. And the way the Golden Gun worked was if you one-shot somebody, or if you shot anybody once, they died. Do you understand? If you shot anybody once, they died. Okay? Now... is this fair? No. No, man. Now, some of you are like, well, in Counter-Strike with the AWP, the way that... No, man. This was a run-and-gun pistol with rapid fire. You just go one shot, one shot, one shot, one shot, one shot. This was not like the... And this was a pretty action-y game where almost all the weapons were like... You had to take multiple rockets to the face in order to survive, you know? I'm gonna do this because this is a clear statement of I have a questing beast. And so... this person knows. I like to use this as an example of how a lot of older games had this quality of putting in unfair, stupid stuff that just felt good. That just felt so good. Power tripping. The sheer awesomeness of power tripping. And a lot of games recently have, you know, they've been focused on fairness, which is good, and you like things that are fair and whatnot, but man, you also like to see things that are absolute BS awesome satisfying. And this is kind of what I feel about our good friend Winota, and about Magic the Gathering in general. Magic the Gathering is really good at giving you the insane psychopathic power trips. That's awesome. Sometimes it goes a little bit hard, like when I first played Winota, I remember I actually took a deck from Jeff Hoagland's stream, where you just would play, you know, pair 1/1 humans at instant speed,
with Raise the Alarm. And then you'd play Winota and attack and summon 2 Agent of Treacheries, take 2 lands, and they'd be back to 1 land on the start of their 4th turn. And that was hilarious. Until it kept happening, and then it was just like, God! Fuck! Let's go ahead and mute again. Yeah, Raise the Alarm. Like, if you looked at the art on Raise the Alarm, you'd be like, is this a human? And the answer is no, not a human. Opponent goes first. We have the perfect hand. Greed is good. This entire deck is about greed. Hello, my name is Sean, and I would like green mana. The great Googly Moogly says, hey there, Sean. How you been? You know, I've been a bit in the dumps for about 2 weeks. Maybe 3. Maybe 4. Wow. The tiredness of moving. A lot of work. Just a lot of stuff ongoing. All the drama in the gaming community of the last few weeks. Not just the sexual assault allegations, but also the collapse of major industry institutions. Is kind of like, holy shit. And today's like the first day I'm starting to feel like a real boy again. I'm finally beginning to feel like I'm getting some semblance of rest. Let's hope our opponent makes a mistake and smashes out an Ugin. So our opponent is Simic Ramp, which I would traditionally take to mean that my opponent is some type of deck really similar to ours, honestly. It has Cultivates in it. We've seen 3. I feel like we are a hop, skip, and a jump away from seeing Uros and Growth Spirals and whatnot. These types of decks have, instead of the blow shit up spells like we have with Casualties and Extinction, relies more on some control spells, some control magic, and of course the invariable Ugin to try to even the stakes. This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. So we're gonna have to, let's see. If I go 1, 2, and then I do Cultivate, and I get a black and a green, and I put this one onto the battlefield, and this one goes into my hand, I can then play it, which gives me enough mana to kill a land and a Planeswalker, which this is the land, this is the Planeswalker. Bye, Brian.
I have greater matters to tend to.
Go ahead and put up the Zagoth Triome so that we can continue to draw. A lot of decks right now are saying, okay, I don't have any good board clear, but I am going to ramp to Ugin, and by God, that Ugin is going to save the day. Because Ugin exiles permanents. So if your opponent maybe has Planeswalkers or creatures or enchantments built up, you can deal with all of that. So how do I want to do this? I think I'm actually going to bonk first. I'm going to... This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to Cultivate first. I actually am such a dumbass. Actually, I am just... Ooh, that is like not a sequence of intelligent thoughts that my brain just produced. My brain actually was like, let's do this. And then upon doing it, I have just nothing but shame. Nothing but it. Nothing good to say. Wow. We were thinking well for a while, but then our brain malfunctioned. You know, that happens. Every so often, each human gets unlucky while thinking. 2, 4, 6, 7. I want to pass. Oof, ow. My bones. Here comes another Ugin. That is essentially the only thing that makes sense. Okay, there we go. So we're against a blue deck.
I think it's a very, very clear Negate and triple Thought Distortion. It's even more obvious to put in triple Thought Distortion because when I was weighing against the Sultai deck, the Sultai decks do have a pretty big focus on Planeswalker shenaniganry. Removal, deletion of threats once they're there. But when I'm up against... so it made me go, well, maybe I want to have the casualties to be able to slow down some of those threats because they're going to be also trying to blow up my shit. Against blue decks, we saw blue-green from our opponent after 3 Cultivates and a Growth Spiral. So I don't think that there's another color of mana hidden in there. So Simic decks are predominantly blue-based sideboards. They have a lot of counter spells, a lot of things like that. So it feels pretty clear that the correct play is to focus heavily on growing up with a Thought Distortion. Grow up and becoming a big boy with a Thought Distortion. And then we still have we have a slight bit of counter magic of our own. Do you want to grow some spirals with me, my friend? Do you want to grow some spirals? It's a great build order. I'm content to do this on this turn because I think that it will be important for me to save the Negate for turn 5 and later, but not sooner. I'm going to play this and just pass. Turn 5 is where I start to get really scared. Oh, fuck. How do we do this? I think this is the correct play. We're first going to play an Uro. No real reason for our opponent to counter this, because it just goes straight to the bin. And our goal, our basic game plan will be try to do denial with the negates. If this is a second Nightpack Ambusher, that's fine. We're going to do denial with the negates and use our life gain to help us stabilize until we can slam an Ugin. Well, what if Ugin gets countered? This is the reason that we are going to run the Thought Distortion on the next turn. This pretty much takes care of any sort of counter magic nonsense. We're going to take a lot of damage next turn, but this does give us the capability of losing fucking immediately. Huh. Okay. Okay, well that's... Well, that's death. Okay. 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 I don't even think I change anything. I think this is the correct sideboarding play. But also a very smart move from our opponent to try to slip under with Nightpack Ambushers. That's a really good sideboarding play from Cucho Lambretta. Pronunciation notwithstanding. I think I need to become huge faster. Okay. I'm going to keep 6 and actually put a Growth Spiral at the bottom. I think that this is the correct move to do. Because I can go Growth Spiral into Cultivate into Bigness. And again, we want to Thought Distortion Ugin. That's our rough play. And lo and behold, we're halfway there. Cultivate is, I think, the most underrated all-star card of this entire set. So, you know, we have some worries about getting countered here. I think that's okay. You know, I feel like we have a... You know what? Maybe the statement is it's better to wait until you know, this turn when my opponent would want to play a Night Pack Ambusher. Night Pack in the side, that's awesome. Thought Distortion is the nuts. Oof. Well, our opponent has used 2 negates, has shown Frilled Mystics.
In this land, we are all connected. The land shall conquer you.
So, here's basically the presumption that I'm going to make. The only counterspell that my opponent could have is a negate, and there's been 2 right there. Also, a Mystic Dispute works. Damn! 3 negates on the top. Well, that's death. I don't know what else we could have done against... I don't know what else we could have done against that, but that's fine. That's fine. You know, 3 negates in the top small set of cards is just a little painful. Jeff opens a stroke, does it 2 right? It's... No one's really running Disdainful Strokes right now. No one really is. Now that most 4-mana enchantments have died. I would say it technically is a threat, but I would more so expect there to be no Disdainful Strokes because 4 Night Pack Ambushers and Negates are coming in from the side. But I think that was a reasonable line, a reasonable sequencing from your pal Sean. I'm your pal Sean, everyone. Hey, it's good to be here. Old buddy, old pal. Alright, we see Orzhov colors and heavy Orzhov. I say heavy because generally you run the Godless Shrine, the Shock Land, and then if you want more dual lands, you run the 4 temples. The 4 black-white temples. And then if you want even more land that's dual, that's when you dip into Scoured Barrens. Could be that we have someone that is doing Orzhov life gain, and we're going to absolutely dunk on this. Wow. Our opponent will suffer the pain of severe dunking. This land is absolute plasma. I love this deck. The sheer plasma on it. Look at the life gain, life pain. That Xylaho? I don't know what that would be. Well, the only thing I can think to do is to continue to ramp. Sean, no! You mustn't ramp this much. Can't handle the ramp. I think maybe just like casualties. Very casual. Now this is probably where Xylaho just snaps us in half with like an infinite combo and I'm just I have all these lands and I am dead. Alright. I think that the thing that makes the most sense to me is to send our opponent back down to a single colored mana source. Colorless, and swamp. 83 with the 38 months as you're beautiful and always make me smile. I'm happy to do it, 83. And Magical Trevor with the sweet 101 months. Everyone loves Magical Trevor because the tricks that he does are ever so clever. Look at this. We're both working together to take out Xylaho, man. I'm expecting to see a handy-dandy landy fall. And then I will go ahead and draw so many cards. This is a 6er. Ooh. Okay. Alright. Everyone loves Magical Trevor, 'cause the tricks that he does are ever so clever. Look at him now, disappearing the cow. Where is the cow? Hidden right now. Taking a bow, it's Magical Trevor.
Everyone has seen that the trick is clever. Look at him there with his leathery whip. He's made of magic and with a little flick. Yeah, 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 the cow is back. Yeah, 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 the cow is back, back from his magical journey. What did he see? Like, those songs are like barnacles. Like, I have little pock marks in my head from when I used to watch those Flash animations, man. They get in ya. I think we don't want Ugin. Ugin is some of our emergency fun. What did he see in the parallel dimension? He saw beans, lots of beans, lots of beans, lots of beans, oh beans, lots of beans, lots of beans, lots of beans. Alright. I think it's time to start blowing up some land and creatures in the way of our Ura. I still remember there was this one summer where I listened to the "Look at my horse is amazing," and that song got stuck in the head of everyone I lived with, and we would just sit and play Dominion and just mumble the song to each other. It was horrible. It was a horrible summer. We desperately wanted to stop. We couldn't stop it. Gartz, did you do anything fun for your B-Day, or are you under lockdown? Gartz, I am under lockdown. The only people I physically interact with are my neighbors. My handy-dandy neighbors. And so what we did is we played board games at their place. For a nice little fun social experience. And what happened was, I think it's like bop bop boop boop and that's it. Maybe bop bop and toot toot, something like this. But the notable thing is I had a good amount of soju while watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, my favorite television series of all time. Just nostalgia, a return to what I love is the thing that kind of helps prop me back up again. And then, after drinking a good amount of soju, went to their place and said, I think I'm done drinking for the day. I'm going to drink LaCroix, which is fizzy water. And I just drank this red grapefruit or cherry or whatever fake fruit flavor it had. And later on, Adam mentioned, man, you're going pretty hard. And I went, well, I drank a good amount before, but I've stopped, because I don't want to go to bed drunk or anything like that. And he pointed out that the 5 LaCroix I drank actually was 1 LaCroix and 4 hard grapefruit seltzers. So there I was, pounding, and this was not White Claw, this was like high alcohol content, like, I can't remember who made this joke yesterday, but just me drinking the, like the 5th seltzer and going, oh man, this LaCroix slaps. That was so funny. I was like, oh yeah. Ooh, right, so I wanna apologize to Lindsay and Adam for being what can be described only as a confusing partner when we played Codenames. I think that I could have made more sense than I did make, but instead of making that sense, I didn't, because I was drunk. So I had a really good birthday. I had a lot of fun. We had the island in the hand. Beep. Ah! I need to take out these guys. That was a good bit of fun. I cannot tell why. That was good bit of fun. Beep, beep. Okay, so we have some options here. I think playing the little one and nuking this big one is, I think that's maybe the play, right? We do this, and then we eliminate this one, and then we play up, I'm thinking maybe one of these. This seems pretty good, right? And then we have enough mana to Ugin and just annihilate the board. Really Invisible says Drunk 9 would have been funny. I get really emotional. Basically, I got all weepy. And I was like, oh god. I just everyone's so wonderful. I went into Deathsy's channel, crying. You're a really good streamer. I just want you to know, it's just like I learned a lot about drafting from you. It was fun for me and maybe questionably fun for everyone else. I don't know. You know, we'll find out later. Pay that life. Crack that in. Play this. Yeah. Yumuri Tops says, what was the name of that LaCroix liquor? I don't know. I don't know. There's actually a period in time where it just I transitioned into like the Bourne Identity where I have hazy memories and basically woke up the day after my birthday and kind of you know, one of those sort of things. So turns out I gave a lot of hugs and then wept bitterly. Yeah. Cheesy Bagel says +1 for the emotional drunks. Ha ha ha, that's me to a T. Yeah, no, because I think that to steal a quote from Fringe, I feel like emotions can be deferred, but they must eventually be paid back in full. I kind of feel like if I'm a streamer, entertainer, trying to like, hey, I'm alive, and there's stresses going on in my life and the world, what I do is I sort of just thump, and I focus on streaming, and then it starts to come up, and then I do some lightly calming activities, and it kind of dissipates like a minuscule puncture in a balloon. But then, if I do accidentally drink a little too much, it's just like a large hole in a big balloon. All the air comes rushing out, because in this metaphor, air is feelings, and Sean is a balloon. 83 says, I hear a lot of hate for Fringe. Well, the first 7 or so episodes sucked. I distinctly remember this heist episode that, like, just ratcheted up the awesomeness. Zagoth Triome. Ryder Guitar says, I know what episode you speak of. I believe it's episode 9. Can you double check that for me? Am I right, Ryder Guitarist? Yeah, the one with the banks. The one with the banks and the music. That was a good one. That was a good one. It's also fun to look for the Observer in every episode. He's there. Yeah, like, I actually find that lately I need to be a little careful about getting too invested in the characters. That turns me off. It makes me not want to watch the content anymore. It's too much. That was episode 10. Damn it! Absolute crap is what's happening right now. Kunhu 19. Crap. Garbage, garbage, garbage. Other guy says, the last season is a pretty big departure. Without spoiling, is it good, though? Is it good, even? Is it an enjoyable show, even? Oh, Nissa. Oh, yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah, if Uro went, we were really boned. I think that, especially if you see that I have an expensive hand and I have one ramp card and you just send it to the grave. I mean, I think that's great. Nissa, goodbye. But see, we have all these, like, look, the grave's getting filled up for Uro. We're feeling nice. Lando one time. One time.
One time. Now, if we get discarded again, this is great, because I can Growth Spiral, and then it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and the discard will be 5, and I can smash Uro. Bang! Don't make me discard these cards. It's too ambitious to put Discontinuity in Sultai, asks Lumase. You know, I know I was trying Discontinuity shenaniganry, and I kind of think it might not even be necessary at all. I know. Looks crazy. But I want to have stuff in the bin. I need 6. Look how skillful Day 9 is. Not only burning a card to be able to play powerful Uro, but then also redrawing the card that I just chucked. I mean, oh, I want to make out with myself. It's like so good. Bang. Okay. I don't want to make out with myself anymore. It's not me. It's me. I just think that it's not the right time. Wow. Okay. What are your thoughts on EDH? Think it's tight. Never played it, but it seems tight. Different formats of the lifeblood of Magic. Two, 4, 6. My brain hurts. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. X equals 7. I don't know what Kunhu's deck is. I think it's a Sultai deck that's focusing on more controlling pieces, less on beat the ass pieces. And the way that this deck is built is to beat ass. Music says, how's Sultai working compared to Bant Ramp? I haven't played a lot of Bant Ramp, but I assume Bant Ramp's actually quite good, quite flexible. This has a little bit of a look. Has a little bit of a look of the Bant Ramp, you know. We don't have Shadow of the Skies, but we can make things go extinct. Something, 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 make you a mistakey. Okay, that's good. This is just good, good, good. Good, 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 good. You know, happens to everyone. Happens to everyone. Happens to every single person. It's a misclick. I mean, it's plausibly just a misclick, you know? Kind of feel like Extinction Eventing my own Hydroid Krasis just to let him know I see you, you know? But I would actually rather just win and go to Diamond. I would really actually rather just win and go to Diamond. Deja429 says, I'm surprised we haven't seen more Scavenging Ooze decks. You know, I think that part of the reason is if you're green, you're often green-blue. And if you're green-blue, you're going to solve your problems by enormous means. 2, 4, 6, 8. I don't need to count. I don't need to count. Look at this. 4 plus 4 plus 5. Ah, I have to count those bastards. 11 from heaven. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, if you're green-blue, you'll often be doing Growth Spiral, Uro, and if you are doing those types of ramp techniques, you also often will be... Checka, checka, checka. Checka, checka, checka. Checka, checka, checka. You will also often be running Cultivates, so there's just so many things that push you up high. Looking for solutions to problems would often skew you towards the high end for that reason. So I think that's why we're not seeing Scavenging Oozes. It's the incidental colors that green tends to get paired with because of certain strong cards, which have a certain archetype, which steers away from Ooze. But I mean, if you were like a mono green deck, I mean, you'd probably run Scavenging Ooze, you know, at the very least in the sideboard against the Cat Oven decks. So that way you can exile the cat before it comes back to the graveyard. Garth says, actually, Ooze is bad versus Rakdos. Oh, yeah, because Acclaim the Firstborn. Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, I mean, I guess Ooze will just have to live a pathetic life being an all-star in older formats, you know. Coon what? Mm-hmm. Is it my favorite little buddy? Hi. Yep, it's just after 5. It's 5:30. Sheriff's done with her afternoon nap, and she wants to get cuddled. Come on up. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're in the clear. Yep. You're cleared for living. Here, let me help you. You seem to be having some apprehension, but that's okay. We're Cat Dad. We got you covered. Hi, sweet pie. Good morning. Good morning. How's your afternoon? Do you have any good dreams? See any interesting people, places, or things? Tell me about the smells. Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, we're having a bit of a rough time, but that's okay. It's okay. We got our little buddy. Little buddy Desper. In the other room, taking naps. Got a little buddy Sheriff here, snugging up. It's fine. I have a handful of plasma. This little cat is so sweet. She is so sweet. She's so cuddly. Oh, yes, I love you. I just love you so much. Oh, this is a really great ritual. If you watch this show, watch this content, that's a very good play from the villain. Yeah, if you watch content here on this channel, Sheriff is here. Several days a week. Just snuggling. Yeah, I love you too, sweetheart. God, I got really lucky with these cats. Because, I mean, if you want to think, if you're wondering, is it absolutely wonderful to have this little sweet cat snuggling me? Yeah, it's wonderful. Absolutely incredible. It makes me so happy. I should have waited until after I played the Uro to pop the Fabled Passage, because now I have one less land in the deck. Alright, yep. Yeah, just go ahead and tuck on in there. There you go. Oh, it's heaven. It's just heaven. I love her so much. Just the greatest little cat. I can play this guy. Let's do that. Let's hope that our opponent kept Extinction Event. The reason Extinction Event is a weak card in this matchup is that it's basically a 1-for-1 always. It's a sorcery speed 1-for-1. So if I'm ramping and you're ramping, yeah, that's a mistake. If I'm ramping and you're ramping, cards like this are not that good. Cards like Casualties of War that can do more than one thing, or cards like Nissa who shakes the world that can do more than one thing, are much more desirable. Okay, so I think we've... Oops. Shocked it in. That's fine. You know, I'm starting to think that maybe it would have been correct to play the Hydroid Krasis for 2. So right now, Kunhu, it's 2 control-y, 2 control-y, 2 control-y. It's kind of like doing one thing, doing one thing, doing one thing. Whereas I'm ramping up to things that do 2 things. And you might go, well, you know, this is early disruption. This is, you know, can really screw over an Uro play. Yeah, but they don't apply any pressure to me. So even if I'm getting stuff discarded and Kunhu is spending a card doing it, eventually we're going to get to a point like this where I have enough mana to cast a billion things. You know, Thought Distortion, on one hand, might appear to suck, but look how much mana we have. I mean, it's like it doesn't even matter. 13? 10? No, 11. Right back to where we were. Like, look at that. A god Thought Erasure. Double Casualty. Double Ugin. Doesn't do anything. Ugin gets played here. Doesn't do anything. And this is actually what I found very fascinating about this construction from Wyatt Darby. God, my whole face is wet. Cat just giving little kisses. Rubbing her face against it with her little wet nose. That's gross. It's disgusting. Love that cat. Yeah, there's no Thought Erasure, there's no Agonizing Remorse, there's nothing. There's none of that. Focuses only on expensive 2-for-1 type things. Denitar says, Thought Distortion and Fry have got to be 2 of the biggest misses in recent design history. What do you mean? What do you mean? I mean, I love those cards. Unless you're talking about they're disproportionately good for their cost. Okay, so we are probably... We're probably against Jund Sacrifice. Gigantha is running the sideboard as just a free card. No. Alright, well, we almost did it. So we have Carnariums in the side. I think we'll probably Cultivate here. And go for black and green. Let's put the black one out. Let's put this one down because I'm still pretty content to draw more. Stuff. Technically, I could have Growth Spiral to maybe get lucky and hit a land. Denitar says Fry didn't kill Oko and couldn't hit Teferi until it drew and bounced. Thought Distortion against these Krasis decks is just tapping out to die next turn. That's my thinking anyway. I think Thought Distortion is actually awesome. And Fry is just solid. Fry is very clearly not as good as Aether Gust, which is just such a high value card. Like goodness. Goodness. We have to be really careful about Uro and Hydroid Krasis, because Claim the Firstborn Roast both of those. So we have 3. We need 2. Got it. I think I hold off on Extinction Event one more turn. Fill in the bin. Alright, so Extinction Event Uro next turn, huh? Stuck on 2 land, which is good. The thing about Fry is that it really has not... I think you're right about the fact that it really has not done a big amount of stuff. Especially in the last little bit of time. I mean, like, it doesn't kill Uro, man. This guy's got 6. Also, we waited. The noggins are working. But I feel like Fry, it's very easy for after rotation. Oh, wait, is Aether Gust and Fry and things like that, are those rotating? It's very possible for Casio too. Wait, where'd the food go? This should have been a... Oh, whatever. It's 5, and then we'd have 6, 8 mana, and I need 8 mana. Got it. This is good. We just want to exile this. So we spend 4 mana doing this. We're going to declare Odd. We're then going to untap one of the Simic lands. Bump the face, and now that we have 8, we can cast Uro. We can also Hydroid Krasis for 1 billion, but that is really risky. If we Hydroid Krasis for 1 billion, we run the risk of our opponent just literally going, claim the Firstborn, hit us in the face, and for lethal. Like, what I really want here is a Casualties of War. That's what I really want, because then if I can pick off like land, creature, little thing, I can really start going to town. Woeful Strider. Okay. We have a lot of mana. I think maybe going to 6 feels right. 6 with this, and just draw 3. Just play conservatively. This is also good. There's a lot of... Sack and kill this? I don't know. Maybe Cassio's just feeling really desperate. You know, obviously we sacrifice this. Priest of the Forgotten Cards is... Forgotten Cards. Priest of the Forgotten Gods, I think, is one of the best design Magic cards. It feels so good and, like, so super fair. You know, maybe we go to... Maybe 8 is the number here. Alright, I think it's 8, because if I look at my land, I can still get 6. Nice.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Yeah, 8 was good. 8 was a good one. Yeah, because if our opponent steals this and pops Nissa, great, we can still kill for 9. And that can get us to the casualties. Good. Krasis is risky. Nissa also seems dangerous. Cries seem very good. I think the eliminates feel good. Does the soot. Peeling a pair of those. No, maybe like this instead. Like, we use the black cards to really control things. Enter the God Eternals is never going to work. It's never going to work. I think Ugin is still very good, but it's just not unbelievable due to the fact that Cat gets around it. But I mean, it's still really good. We basically are going to win with Ugins and Uros. We might just play this kick-ass deck until we hit Diamond Man. Alright. Watch out for Reggie. Oh, I hope we're against some Regisaurs, Rotting Regipals. Man, we get Growth Spirals all the time. Let's see, what's the probability of drawing a Growth Spiral in the starting hand? Well, we do the probability of not drawing it, so... Isn't it like 40% of having it in the starting hand? Google.com. Okay. So 56 times 55 times 54 times 53 times 52 times 51 times 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, or divided by parenthesis 60 to the 7th power. And then we're going to do 1 minus that. I just typed 1, 0. Whoops, 1 minus. Oh, no, I'm wrong. It's a 60% chance of having it in the opening hand. Nice. Yeah. There is a 58% chance of having a specific 2-drop in your opening hand if you have 4 copies. Crash. Wow, we're going to get a ton of mana here. Feeder Scoot. That's a lot. Jesus. 60% chance of having it be in the opening hand? Whoa. Oof, ow. My calculators. Calculating the percentage of what I'm talking about is actually pretty straightforward, because you have 7 cards, and you say, first card, what's the chance of it not being a Growth Spiral? That would be a 56 out of 60 chance, right? Very straightforward for the first card. What about for the second card? What's the probability of the second card? Well, that stinks. It's probably the second card. We've already picked the first card, and we know that the first card isn't a Growth Spiral, so for the second card, it's 55 out of 59. Oh, we are a very lucky human being. So you do 56 out of 60 times 55 out of 59 times 50... you know, and you keep going 1 down. So I did a super quicker version of it, where instead of doing divided by 60, divided by 59, divided by 58, divided by 57, I just did divided by 60 a bunch of times. So it's at least 58%. Or am I doing that in reverse order? Maybe it's a little less than that. Let me actually just do the exact percentage in a quick second. One minus 56 divided by 60 times 55 divided by 59 times 54 divided by 58 times 53 divided by 57 times... I'm an asshole. 52 divided by 56 times 51 divided by 55 times 50 divided by 54. Wait, what did I do wrong? I skipped a number. No, I did it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bing bong. It is 40%. I did have it right initially. I did have it right. I think I just mistyped something. Why are we not just using Hyper Geo? Man, I'm all about those combinatorics. Always let me do combinatorics. So it's a 40% chance. 40%, 40%. See you later, nerd. If there's one thing that I really still to this day don't know how I feel about, it's numerical analysis, man. Numerical analysis is the act of like parsing, or not parsing, of computing answers through like various forms of estimation and computation instead of via just computing the answer directly. So for instance, like the numerical analysis version of this would be, all right, well, let's just bang out a whole bunch of hands in a simulator and just look at the percentage. There it is. There's percentage. Well, it looks like we may be making a mistake. I want to crack this now to get more gaseous cards into my hand. Hey, did you guys see the news that Amazon's game Crucible unreleased and went back to a closed beta? Wait, what? Yeah, that's really interesting. That's really, really interesting. Missing Jen says, wait, what? They can't do that. Yeah. It's a very new school kind of technique. Bye, Brian. Isn't that fascinating? Super fascinating, right? When we go to sideboarding, or when this game is done, I'm going to go get some more fluids. How do you unrelease a game? Well, didn't Final Fantasy XIV do that? Didn't it release, shut down, go back into work, and then just come out and everyone was like, that's good, well, that'll do, we'll play that. Moo! You know what, let's just draw Casualties of War. And I gotta be honest with you, man. I love times a billion the idea of all these new media forms of, like, trying again. Like, I love the idea of, for instance, if technology gets good enough, someone just redoes Season 8 of Game of Thrones. Maybe makes 3 more seasons, you know? This is good. This is good. You always want to make sure you get all your land out of the way first. Wait, our opponent has lethal. Never mind. Let me just get out of here. Deck looks good. All these cards look great to me. I thought I was going to get Fluids, but I want to play the video game, baby. Yeah, I'm fascinated by that. I'm fascinated by the idea of, like, a novelist just kind of, you know, doing book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, screw this 4, 5. Let me just go over and do, like, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, like, forking, branching, remixing stuff. Like, oh, that's tight, man. Peace out, Phobius, man. It was good to see you. Meow! Oh, blame it on the goose. We're gonna bolt the bird here. Yeah. Are you excited for peace talks? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Jadaris. This bird, man. What's with all these freaking birds? Gotta cultivate. Let's get the blue one out. Show them what we got. You know, I think there's already a really cool new school form of what I'm talking about in the form of, you know, these transmedia storytelling techniques that people do, where they will tell the main story and then tell, like, not necessarily critical stories, but interesting stories, like in webisodes or in comics or things like that. I think that's, like, really cool. So with the Trail of Crumbs, Cassio can drown us in card advantage by just popping stuff. Now it's time for us to shout odd at the top of our lungs. Sack, draw, lose it all. I think that's, like, super cool. Oof. Choose options. Odd. I feel like we are one Ugin away from ending the game. 4, 2. So there's 4, 2, and 1. Okay, so we have one basic left. I have 2 cats, Olympian. I have a brown cat named Sheriff and a gray cat named Despy. They are my girls, and I love them with all of my heart. One Casualties, I think, formerly would have helped us, but there's a second Trail of Crumbs, which hurts a bit. Ugin actually ends the game. What is it? 3 mana to become indestructible till end of turn? Okay, let's just get that one. Alright, and our opponent had to discard a card. That feels pretty good. The Triomes are really nice because we can cycle them when we have this much land. I have 2 sweet baby cats that I love more than anything. Okay. Okay. Is it time to shout odd at the top of lung? Any chance the cats will make an appearance on today's stream? The manja you just missed, my sweet baby girl Cher there. Climbing up on top of me and rubbing her face like crazy into the best ear ever. Yeah, I think that's the ballgame.
The axiomatic structure of reality. I will destroy if I must.
Your 2 kitties get along? Lately, Despy's been a little aggressive. I think Despy's just feeling a little weird in the new house, and we need to play with her more, you know. Moo. It's time to shout odd from the top of lung. gonna say even just to make him think I maybe would have messed up. Because I'm that kind of bastard.
My flames burn.
My flames burn. Oh. Did it. One Ugin away. The thing is, a lot of these sack decks try to almost like crudely fashion together removal without literally having removal. You know, they will have the Priest of the Forgotten Gods sacrifice and then do lots of cycle sack pinging with the cat and a Mayhem Devil out, and that's how things actually get removed and deleted. So some of them really struggle when it comes to Planeswalkers, where you just have a Planeswalker and bam. They might even only run like a pair of Murderous Riders. That's a better one. Ugin's gonna go, but the Extinction Event helps a lot. Oh yeah. Britterson. 105 months. 105 staying alive. Olympian05 says, okay, my zoo consists of a dog, cat, snake, a 3-year-old girl, a 19-month-old boy, and a wife. Oh, yeah. Starting to realize, as I'm getting older, you don't need friends if you just have a big family and pets. You got all the entertainment right there. It's the version of, like, the home gym, right? Like, why do I need to go to the social event when my house is a non-stop social event? Alright, this is good to see the Temple of Abandon. These are aggressive colors. Paracron John says, I wish I'd been sub since 2012 when I really started watching as a broke just out of high school kid. I think there's a lot of people who've been watching this here content for many moons. Uro would be the best. Uro would be the Stone Cold Nuts. That'll do just fine. Devastation Wagon is already having the appearance of somebody that has no 2-mana play whatsoever. And will instead be Gruul Spellbreakering in for 5 next turn. That's okay, we'll extinct him. Incognitus 1. Says, well, I mean, yeah, I have 105 months too. How are you, Justin? Odd. It's kind of funny, when I first saw this list and I saw 4 Extinction Events, my brain went, oh, right, you can just run Extinction Events. Ah. Oh, this is going to hurt. This just puts it into the hand, though, right? This hurts because it's hexproof from black. And I've seen this Gruul list. It's like 57 of the same old cards, and then 3 of these puppers. This is the new boy. Thoughtful Silence. 82 ain't bad either, right? 82 is a beautiful number, Thoughtful Silence. Thanks for joining us for nearly 7 yearly. You're missing a digit. How are you doing, Incognitus? 1. Marauding Reptar. Gruul Spellbreaker. Oh, what? What is this guy doing here? Is that a death? Like we never saw before? Yeah, wow, look at that. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Alright, this is going to be relatively clear what our needs are. This, and these, and these. Now, what, oh, what do I cut, oh, cut? Probably the things that require any amount of time at all. That seems right. Seems nice. Play. Good. Now this is a hand. we are going to be... Maybe we just don't care. Maybe it's actually just fine to... Uro first. No, I'm just gonna do this, because this thins by 2. This is a good card in an aggro deck for sure. To like just delete the Uro from existence. If I can grow the graveyard a lot, I can just like Uro all in one turn when my opponent's tapped out. So let's do this first. Black, black, blue, blue, blue. So we want probably another blue. Maybe that's actually a mistake, and what I should have done is placed a forest and then cycled the Zagoth Triome. Maybe that's what I should have done. Yeah, we should reach out to Twitch and in an act of absolute vanity ask if we can get 9, 10, and 11-year sub badges. That is so what I want to see. So let's see if I can tap this properly. So we want black, blue, blue, green. Ugh. It's pretty good. Yeah, I think that this was the notable mistake, not saving the Zagoth Triome to cycle it. Next proof from black, that's fine. You love to see it. Now, this is good. It's not over, though. Not over.
You are too dangerous to roam free.
Domino Ub says, I've watched Day 9's content since about 2014, but never participated in streams until now since COVID has me working from home. Yeah, we got a lot of the COVID buddies here, for sure. What do I even want here? What's a good one?
Endings are inevitable.
Alright, let's do this. I kind of got a little too much land in these games. I think maybe keeping the Hydroid Krasis was okay here. So that's death for us. Yeah, I mean I don't feel like I got a lot to learn there.